everybody. Thanks for waking up with us and joining us for Wake Up Charlotte to Go. Joined by Larry Sprinkle, Chris Mulcahy, back from getting married.
It was
Chris.
lovely.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the story that was trending today in our newscast. Did you know it's National Bullying Prevention Month? So local schools are now getting involved with this. Rawlinson Road Middle School in Rock Hill just held a school unity day. The kids wore orange there. They signed pledges against bullying. Administrators say they actually saw a lot of participation with this. So, of course, we know bullying is a big issue right now that kids face. The National Center for Education statistics say in 2019, about 22% of students between ages 12 and 18 say they are picked on at school. The number is even higher for girls. The bullying is especially bad during middle school years. I know I hear this from a lot of friends. 82% of students in 6th through 8th grade reported being bullied at school. And the problem has been made even worse during remote learning. So, this morning we were talking about what can we do as a parent. Here are some recommendations from stopbullying.gov. They first say educate your child on what bullying is. Sometimes kids don't really recognize what that is, what teasing is, when it crosses the line. Experts say parents should also take complaints of bullying seriously and stop it on the spot if you see it happening. And remember that bullying doesn't stop at school anymore. Social media now keeps kids in constant contact with their peers. So set clear expectations with your kids about how they should be using those apps. And of course, take advantage of the features when you can kind of monitor what they're doing. So let us know what you think, parents watching, or have you experienced this? Honestly, like I said this morning, guys, I don't think this is just a kid issue. It's an adult issue as well. We see it's, oh, I'm hearing feedback in my ear. That's weird. How
Yeah,
people can
it definitely
comment on
parents.
social media.
It starts at home. I think that it's a responsibility parents, even before their kids go off to school, to kind of explain the situation, explain what bullying is, and there's so many different types of bullying. Let them be aware of that, and it's almost like an education about the process of bullying, what you may expect when you go to school today. And it's such a major problem. It seems to get worse every year. And who would have thought that last year, with people being home, it even expanded even more when kids were at home.
Yeah, and I like what you said, Sarah. It's not just kids; it can also be adults as well. Like us being in this industry, people love to hide behind the computer and just say the nastiest things for no reason. So, if you look at it and just really read it to yourself, and I was like, wow, I wouldn't feel very good if somebody told me this. That yeah, I think it's really cool that we're having such a month like this to try to nip the bullying in the bud as early as possible, and let's just be kind to each other. What's the point?
I know it's so true, right? Social media makes it so hard. Says, I was bullied at school. I'm glad I graduated in 1993. And I think, the same thing, that social media didn't exist when I was in high school. And thank goodness, if you weren't invited to something, sometimes you didn't even know about it, or people couldn't comment on. No one was posting pictures of when we were in school. It was, if you went on a family vacation and you took photos, those were only in your family scrapbook at home. Now pictures of kids, especially when they're growing and developing and trying to figure out who they are, that's being plastered on social media, and people are making fun of kids. And like I said, Chris, even adults do it. They hide behind their screen on Twitter and Facebook and say really mean comments. And sometimes I think they don't think that, we're real people, or the other person that they're arguing with is a real person. But you definitely develop a thick skin. But I've also found, which I try to tell people too, when someone's really mean and hateful, it's usually more of a reflection of how they feel about themselves or what they're going through. And so it's always, important to try to show love and kindness.
It's very sad. I mean, I think in the world today that the kids are faced with so many situations today, and the fact that you can't escape it because there's so much social media out there that all the benefits sometimes are outweighed by how negative it can be, especially for kids who are, like you were saying, Sarah, that they're trying to find themselves, and they see these almost like glamour shots of some kids and they think, well, I'm not perfect. I'll never be that good. So yeah, I mean, it is a more serious situation than ever, and the problem with the psychological problems developed by these kids. When you think about the suicide rate among kids today,
It's so
a
bad.
lot of that really starts with that bullying situation at school.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
go ahead,
oh yeah,
Chris.
no, it's and Larry, you know the point. Like, when back when we were going to school, you go to school, and if you had a bully, then you go home. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. But now, technically, if you have that one person, they could be messaging you, texting you, doing all that. So it just never stops, and I think that why those rates have gone up so much. So International Bullying Month, I think, is a great thing to do just for the awareness. And I'll repeat myself, we're all a victim of it. Just whenever you're putting your hands to the keyboard, just think about how that reflects on what you're saying to another person.
And we said this morning too, Facebook talking about changing their name.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming out after those reports about how it's not so great for kids' mental health. Facebook owns Instagram too. So,
Yeah, let me explain that. After reading quite extensively about it yesterday, it's the corporation changes name. Facebook will be Facebook. That's not going to change. It's the name of the
Interesting.
company that changes.
the company's changing their name.
Yeah, not the Facebook and Instagram. They'll still be there. I mean, those are brands that would be more than likely hard to change those brands. It would be so confusing. But yeah,
Right. That's what I
it's
was
from the
thinking.
corporate level that they're going to change the name.
Crystal is saying she thinks, schools should do more than turn a blind eye for kids. It's just a whole new day and age.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to train teachers and staff and peers to, know those warning signs, those red flags for kids, especially, and monitoring social media. I think is important. I read something one time that said, step away from social media an hour a day a week, and a week a month. And I think we all should be doing that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
All
I
right.
second that.
Well, thanks for joining us. Comment below. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you back on TV at 11:30. Have a great day, everybody.
See you.